What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see behind me, on a hot sunny day. Had to put my portable shade up for this one even though the wind's blowing, keeping me a little bit cool. That sun really heats it up out here. Been doing a little bit of jelly testing. I've gotten a couple interesting ones done, and hopefully we're gonna end things out with a bang with some good 357 SIG. So the jelly contraption's up under the shade, keeping cool with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now again, I've done a couple of tests, so this far block is pretty tracked up. This front one is pretty much completely clear except for a couple little stragglers, so I shouldn't have any problem getting this one done. As always, I'm using a heavy clothing barrier with the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And for this one right here, we're firing up the old time machine to go back in time a little bit to check out some older CorBon. As you can see, definitely an older design on the box there. I'm not sure when this was made as far as year. There's the lot number. I don't know if that's 2003, if that's what that means. Maybe some of y'all do know. But what we got here is the 357 SIG 125 grain JHP. They're saying 1,425 feet per second on this. Now, if you look on their site, they've got still the 357 SIG 125 grain JHP. I don't know if it is still the same projectile. That's hard to say without having some of the newer stuff here. But this 125 357 SIG is still available on their site, and it still has this same velocity of 1,425. There you can see it, brass case, and there's a look at the projectile. Again, I'm not sure what this is or if it's still the same as what they're using now. Now, those of y'all who watch my channel much know that I don't have anything dedicated in 357 SIG, but what I do have is the G22 here, 4.5-inch barrel, and it's got a 4.5-inch G31 Lone Wolf barrel in it. So this should put on a good show for us to end out the day. Let me get it all set up and let's see what it does. All right, let's see what kind of velocity we get from this stuff. Obviously, I've only got one barrel length, so I'm just gonna do one 5-round average. Now, when it comes to the gel, what I'll do is send one through the heavy clothing and then one for just a t-shirt only. Now, 1,425 is what they're claiming out of this, and I did look on their site and they're saying that's out of a 4-inch test barrel, so 4.5-inch here, we should easily see that 1,425. Those of y'all not familiar with this lab radar, you're gonna see multiple velocity numbers. The large one is from the muzzle, and then the 5 across the bottom. One of them is set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet, and then you've got 10, 15, 25, and 50 yards. So 1,425 we're looking for out of this right here. Let's see what we get. Woo, that's spicy. 1,392. That's loud stuff for sure. 1,388. 1,394. 1,389. and 1393. So definitely some loud stuff. We didn't quite hit that 1425 though. Let's check out the average. All right, so the 5-round average on that was 1,391 feet per second. Very, very consistent stuff. Extreme spread of 6 and a standard deviation of 2.8. So incredibly consistent. A little bit short though of the 425 that they're claiming now. Well, that's on the box for this. I was gonna say that's on the site, but that's on this right here. So 1391, what is that, like 35, 34 short of the 1425? So not a whole lot. I mean, you can blame that on atmospheric conditions and whatever you want to blame it on, but still a little bit short. And that's surprising because lately all the CorBon stuff, the new stuff, has been well above what they're claiming. That being said, 1391, I think that's going to still do a fantastic job in the gel. So let's get everything reset. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's Quantum Leap jelly time. I'm gonna put 2 down here into the gel. I'm gonna do 1 through the heavy clothing, and then we'll do 1 through t-shirt only. I think both of these are gonna do a good job. I've got you pulled back kind of far though, because I got a feeling we might get a little encroachment into that second block. Let's see what happens. I went a little bit low. Hopefully I stayed in. Let me go see what I got. All right, we're looking good to go with that one down there. Let's try the t-shirt only. I got a feeling this is gonna be one of those cases where there's gonna be very little to no difference between heavy clothing and t-shirt. Well, let's see what we get. All right, that should have been perfect. Let's go down there and check them out. All right, let's check these things out down here, y'all. No real surprise, absolutely terrific performance from both of these things. We'll start down here on the bottom. That was the one through the heavy clothing. As you can see, really both of these, immediate energy transfer, immediate fragmentation and expansion. You can see it starts fragmenting almost straight out. Fragmentation all the way through here, all the way through this first block, and looks like about 2 to 3 inches into this second block, and really nice expansion and fragmentation, or that frag expansion like I call it. Up above that, basically more of the same. That was the one through the t-shirt only. Again, very, very little difference here. Maybe a little more fragmentation from that one, but that could just be chance and luck. But in either case, very nice disruption, really nice energy transfer. Again, all the way through here. A lot of fragmentation right here that made some nasty disruption. I would hate to be on the receiving end of that for sure. A lot more fragmentation here. This one here pokes into the second block just about a 1/4 of an inch maybe, and it does look like you got a lot more fragmentation and expansion from that one. So as far as the penetration on it, the one from the heavy clothing down there on the bottom, exactly 19 inches, so absolutely fantastic penetration there. The one through the t-shirt only is exactly 17 inches, so again, fantastic looking performance from both of these rounds. Here's your closer look at them. Again, you can tell you got quite a bit of fragmentation. Those kind of lighter rounds going that doggone fast, you definitely lose some material. As you can see right about here, I mean, you had some nasty fragmentation going on there. That would do a lot of damage. Both of them keeps on trucking. The first one down there, you can see a lot of frag expansion going on. We'll go up to the top. Same story with this one. It just barely missed that entrance in that other block, but it stayed completely out of it. From the top, same deal. You can see there is actually quite a bit more fragmentation from that t-shirt only one, so it may have made a difference there. Nasty fragmentation right here. I mean, that would do a ton of damage. As you can see, it keeps on trucking, goes into this block just a little bit. The one down there on the bottom, you can see it down there with its frag expansion. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles here, y'all. This one right here was from the heavy clothing. This one was t-shirt only. You can even see here, it's got the denim and fleece embedded in the front of this one right here. Now, looking at them from the face, they look really, really similar. Very nice expansion from both of them. But when you turn them to the side, it shows a whole different story. You can see here, you got a lot of mangled up loss of material from this one through the t-shirt only. This heavy clothing, very, very nice expansion, wrapped all the way up under the base, and you lost very, very little material. Now, you lost a good bit of lead, there's no doubt about it, but far less as far as jacket. You didn't really lose any of the jacket, so big, big difference there. That being said, I think both of these look absolutely terrific. But let's measure them and see what we did lose. The one through the t-shirt only, they both started at 125. This one is down to 89.4, so quite a bit of loss right there. The one from the heavy clothing is at 101.0, so a whole lot less loss right there, but both of them lost quite a bit of material. And as far as size on it, I'll start with this one from the heavy clothing. You got 4.61 and 4.62, so nice expansion on that one there. And then this one here from the t-shirt only, it's gonna actually be about the same, maybe a little more, 4.89 and 5.15, and that's just because you got these jagged pieces of jacket here, so basically about the same size as far as expansion. And there you go, y'all, a nice little blast from the past with this CorBon 125 grain 357 SIG. Again, I don't know how this performance compares to the new stuff. Maybe I'll have to get some of the new stuff now just to see, but this right here I think did a really nice job. Now, I'd like to see that little bit more velocity that we didn't hit, but either way, I mean, you're still talking over plus P9 mil. And as far as the fragmentation, you know, I'm not usually a huge fan of that, and I'd still like to see this stuff hold together more. But in this case, you are still left with basically a lightweight 9 mil or 380 round. So the fragmentation in this case isn't quite as bad. And I can tell you right now, it left a nasty looking mess in that gel. All right, y'all, I think this retro CorBon 357 SIG is a great way to end the day of testing. Really nice performance out of this stuff. Very, very nice and consistent as far as velocity and performance in the gel. Now, it looks like that heavy clothing versus t-shirt only may have made a difference here as far as all that extra fragmentation and how the round just mangled up a whole lot more. Could have been chance. I mean, you'd have to run a whole lot more rounds through this stuff to be able to tell that for sure if that made a difference. But either way, it doesn't really matter, because both of these things did a fantastic job. I'm definitely curious now to see if the new 357 SIG of this same exact weight, same velocity listed on the site, if it performs the same as this or maybe better or worse. I'll probably have to pick some of that up now to check it out. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this stuff. Do any of y'all that run 357 SIG run any of this CorBon? What else do you run in 357 SIG? What do you think about the performance from this stuff here? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, reach down and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got those notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload new stuff. Like I always remind you, if you're doing some shopping, take a minute and check out those affiliate links I've got in the video description. Lots of good stuff down there, and anything you buy after hitting up those links, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really do appreciate that. Again, a big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel the way y'all do. Really interesting stuff done out here today, and plenty more to come, so stay on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.